Hello, and welcome to hopefully the first of many episodes where I break down a level that I had just released pretty recently. This first episode is going to be about my most recent level, Outlast, which came out on the 29th. In this, I'm just basically going to look over the level and talk about different things that I've done, different techniques that I used, things that I just found interesting, or references, and I'll be explaining what they are, what I did, and how this whole level creation process started. So let's get straight into it, shall we? So this actually started 3 years ago, shockingly, with this guy, Weather Control.
Yeah.
And he was doing some live streams at the time, and I would turn up to the live streams along with my friend Heart Animations, and we would just kind of hang out with him, talk about the music, and he finished this song, Outlast, on stream. Or no, it wasn't on stream, but he finished that song, Outlast, during that time. He made these three tracks on stream with us, but he finished Outlast shortly after that, and I decided, you know what? I like this song. It's probably one of my favorite songs from him, although he does have a lot of really good songs, as you can see. I've listened to quite a few of them. Not all of them, but quite a few of them. And like I said, it was one of my favorite songs. I really enjoyed it when it came out. And I decided, you know what? I'm going to make a Project Arrhythmia level with this, and I'm going to make it based off the levels of one of my good friends, Heart Animations. And my primary influence were these two levels, Fade Away and Unconscious Actions. More so unconscious actions with the colors, and Fade Away, I guess, more with the idea of the level generally. But I also had some other influences from YouTube videos that I had seen, and surprisingly enough, the old melodical escapism levels, if you remember what those are. My general idea with the level was quite basic. It was just focus on a scene, have some lasers going around, and the scene would change colors. It would change between black and the fully colored, which you could see happen here, and I managed to pull it off pretty well. And I actually, with the creation of opacity in an update, I was actually able to do it a lot better than I would have before, which was just a decoration object that would appear and disappear instantly. But now, with opacity, I was able to fade in and out the decoration. So let me see if I can find a point where it fades in. Here we go. Here's one. So the background fades out or fades in the opacity, it instantly becomes 0, which was how I was doing it before, and then it fades in the opacity to create the darker scene once again. And what I did was just some very simple layering stuff. As you could see with the scene here, uh, there's all these lines, these white parts. Most of these white parts are layered, as you could see, on 6, but if you just try and ignore this, here, let me move this out of the way for us real quick. But as you can see here, these are layered on layer 9, which is behind the background that I had initially made, which is on layer 8. So it's just a very simple layering technique. It's nothing too crazy. I also did layering with all the different attacks, such as these bullets. They're hollow, and then they're filled in outside of the... Here, this is a good area where you can see it. They're filled in outside of this layer 8. Some other influences that I forgot to mention were Ritual by... Oh, shit. By Ultra Orange. Ultra Orange is just at another level. Really great stuff. But as you can see here, I have a sun, and that's just to replicate what Ultra Orange did in this level. As you could see here in this video, there's a big sun, lots of square waves. It's all just kind of... Essentially, I just took this and mirrored it exactly for my level, Outlast. Which, I mean, is kind of what inspiration is, but also at the same time, it's very obviously influenced if you know ritual, the original level. But there's also some other details here, such as these graphs were inspired off of a Leotrix EP, if you allow me to pull that up quickly. As you can see here, they're taken from his Reload EP. Right here, there's a little graph with charts and such, and it shows up in this level as well, right here. With this rain part of the level, I actually made use of rotation parenting, but not position parenting. If I can select one of these bullets, if I could find where they are. Layer 3. Let me see. Okay. But I'll just expand one of these for now. But, as you can see, it's parented to the rain direction master with a rotation and a scale, but not a position. And this rotation direction master, if I would just expand it, or rain direction master just rotates back and forth and it moves around all the rain with it. So as you can see here, if I just change this value some, all the rain changes with it. But the position remains the complete same with all the rain. It's very laggy, obviously, since I've got a lot of rain attached to this parent, but that is how I managed to make this rain sweep to the left and to the right and such. And it was generally it was a neat little idea. I don't get to do rotation parenting without the movement parent that often, so it's nice to be able to do that in this level. And fun little facts, this central shape, it doesn't mean anything, but it was an idea of Taikibu, or Taiki B0, however you pronounce it. It was their idea, and they're very good at these very like visual, pretty levels that don't have too much going on. They're another really good creator. If you don't know them, check them out, although I'd be surprised if someone didn't know them. This sun is also influenced by Weather Control's music, more specifically the artwork of some of his music. Songs like Cyclogenesis they have black and white artwork with lots of line work, and it's just very simple but appealing to look at the same time. And I tried to replicate that. I went a little bit overcomplicated, admittedly, but I was still generally happy with the end result, and now with custom shapes, I think this can be made better. But at the time, I didn't even know custom shapes were going to be coming to the game, so I think I should get a pass with that. This part of the level was actually inspired by a music video created by the producer BVSSIC. If you allow me to pull it up real quick, I'll show you. So as you can see here, I now have the Blissful Gaze of Ignorance pulled up. And what I took inspiration from was mainly track 4, No Life, and it'll be pretty obvious what I was inspired by with this. So as you can see, I took the inspiration for this black bar in the middle that just slides up and down to create different scenery, was taken from that video, although in a much smaller form in this level. And I don't think it was the best effort I could have done, honestly. I think it was a little bit lazily done. It's not the most pretty thing ever, and it feels a little out of place, but I wanted to make this idea, and I just decided to go with it. I think if I did it again, I could do it much better, but I still think that the end result turned out alright. These attacks were also inspired by BVSSIC, one of his music videos, although it's a lot less clear with those. These attacks, I meant to make... It's kind of funny. Once I finish a part, or once I feel like I finished a part, I cannot go back to working on it. But I meant to include these clouds more often throughout the level. Like, I meant to include them in the background for these parts. I believe I did actually include them here. Yes, I did include the clouds in the first drop of the level, but I forgot to in the second. So I decided, you know what? I'm going to turn it into an attack because I figured it would just be too boring if I did the same laser triangle attack over and over and over again. So I decided, you know what? I'm going to make some clouds and I'm going to make some arrows that fly across the screen. I don't know what I was doing there. I was honestly out of ideas. But I did make the clouds, and then the level ended with this very empty outro. I honestly didn't really have any plans for this outro. I had planned to do this text since the beginning. I didn't have any big distinct visual ideas for this outro. And obviously, I included a little happy birthday message to Heart Animations, who inspired this level and whose birthday this was meant to release on. Generally, I believe I did a pretty good job on this level. I definitely think I could have done better, uh, but I think it's a nice little deviation compared to what I normally make. My next level, at least that I plan to work on completely, is going to also be pretty different from what I normally make. And I'm very excited to get to release that and to show it to all of you. And it's going by very, very well. Anyways, that's about all I had to say about this level, at least at the moment. If I think of anything else, I'll tag it on. But I just want to say thank you for watching. Thank you for your support. And go subscribe to Heart Animations.